run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count up to 37.
Oh! This is where I think we're going to see the caution. Oh! Here comes Angela, though. He'll have the run. That car, the newest below the Double Yellow Cup Series champion. And here comes Milo, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count up to 37.
Oh! Cabot, where did he come from? Here comes Zwack.
A push for the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
Hello and welcome to the Below the Double Yellow Premier Series live tonight from Dover, the Monster Mile for the Martin Sports 160 and race number 11 of this 20 race season. That's going to be a good one here tonight. The high concrete banks of Dover Motor Speedway. I think they just changed their name, right, Alec?
They did, yeah, because I believe SMI owns the track now, so. Yeah, Dover Motor Speedway with Dover Downs. Yeah, Dover Race or Dover International, right?
Yep.
And now it's Dover Motor Speedway.
Yeah, and it's going to be home to race number 11 here in the Below the Double Yellow Premier Series, and looking forward to a very exciting one here tonight in these next gen machines. Just a couple races left before the start of the chase, and a lot of drivers, really tight around the cut line. Trying to make their way into the top 12 in the standings. Looking forward to an exciting event where those drivers are really going to face off here. And we do have a good sized field tonight once again, so not going to be short on drivers to create some action out there.
Yeah.
And I was going to say, Yousuf Ghaly got his first career win last week, and really a surprise winner there, but he showed up here in practice so far tonight. He was the fastest, or not fastest, but second fastest rather in practice, so he's got some speed again.
I tell you, momentum really changes it. Obviously, Yousuf being, I want to point this out, 9 different winners this season in the first 10 races. This being the 11th. Our points leader, Seth Hatchell, hasn't won a race this year, but more on to Yousuf Ghaly. Yousuf Ghaly's been, came through, won at Darlington, and, if you really look at it, he's not going to be a chase contender. He's started a little bit too late in the season, but wins really shift momentum, and we talk about momentum as a team, like in obviously in the Cup Series. Momentum really helps, and just like this, momentum helps a driver, really push forward. They know that they can win now, and now they're determined to get more wins. There's nothing better than winning, right? So, nothing better than winning now, going forward and pushing that momentum. So hopefully, I mean, Yousuf Ghaly, he actually goes sixth on the board right now. But I think we know that Yousuf, he's proven that he can win, and maybe he can go back to back, which is only happened once. It was Adam Cabot.
Yeah, and that was at the start of the season. Cabot finds himself currently 8th in the standings. The drop week is going to be calculated after tonight's race, but you can take a look at the points there on the screen. Seth Hatchell is your points leader. He's locked into the chase no matter what happens here tonight or next week. Brody Hayes second. Joshua Banks, who's not going to be here tonight, he's on, I believe, on baby watch. So congrats to him as well. And yeah, he's not going to be making the race tonight. Definitely a worthy cause to miss a race.
I would say so. Oh yeah, for sure. Heck, even in real life, people miss events for it. So
exactly,
it's the game, really. So again, congratulations to Joshua and his wife for bringing their first child in. So it's awesome. I believe he said it was a baby daughter. So that's pretty cool.
Well, congrats, Josh, and we'll see if he is going to be back next week. He's pretty safe on points, I believe, but he's going to have to. We'll see after the drop week. This will be his drop week, missing the race and all, but it's going to be interesting to see who makes it in. Matthew Zwack makes his return here tonight, and he is a driver on the outside of the cut line there, trying to make his way back in. I don't see Zach Carr here tonight, so it looks like he'll probably be eliminated, on that, by not showing up here tonight. So last season's champion, looks like he won't be fighting for 2 in a row here. Unfortunate for him, just not the luck, not the season that he wanted, I'm sure, to try and repeat.
Yeah, for sure. Unfortunate for Zach, but I know if Zach can obviously come back for this, whether it's starting off the chase fresh, brand new start. Really, for him, there's nothing on the line. There is really nothing to lose, and it's just go get wins. And I think that's going to be good for Zach. And then obviously next season, I think it's more than possible for Zach for sure can get a win. He's proven that he can run up here. He runs up front, and he's solid. And there's a reason he won the championship last year, and it's not because he won out by luck. He absolutely dominated some races last year. I believe he dominated here at Dover. So, Zach is fast. When Zach is fast, the whole field really is worried. So, I'm really looking forward to tonight, and obviously hoping Zach can show up the next few weeks as well. But tonight's going to be interesting. AJ Stravato so far on provisional pole. Ben Baffert about 9/100ths of a second off of Stravato. Gemmel in third, Zwack fourth, and Dylan Parker in fifth. Want to shift our focus to the points, the cutoff. I don't know if you have a cutout of that, Adam, or at least a graphic of it. But looking at the points, Angelo Ronis is the last car in. I think guys like Jeff Wright, Ben Baffert, 10th, 11th, or 10th and 11th. Also Dylan Parker in 9th. They also have to worry. They cannot afford a bad race these next 2 weeks, either here at Dover or next week in the regular season finale at Charlotte Motor Speedway. But obviously, we talk about it. 1 point separating Angelo Ronis in the 21 car and Chris Simard in the 37. 1 point there, and then it goes 10 points to Michael Sturgill, who isn't here. And I don't think we'll be showing up, but Dallas Sullivan can put a good run together. And I think the big one that these guys have to worry about, especially Ronis and Simard, we've seen him have speed, and that's Matthew Zwack. Matthew Zwack is a great driver, and I'm not discounting anybody else. Anybody can win on any given week. I think we've really seen this year. But Zwack is contended for wins, and I think these guys are going to have to worry about Zwack. Only 25 points behind. If he can lead some laps, what I think he can do. I think the worst case scenario for them would be Matthew Zwack winning this race, and I think Zwack definitely has a chance of winning this race. I think any of these guys really have a shot at winning this race. That's how it's been this season. Heck, the field's been so tight every week. Really, I think anybody in this field can honestly win if they put together the right runs and the right speed.
Yeah, definitely lots of contenders here in the Premier Series, and a driver who came into tonight's race with quite a bit of hype. I don't know if it was just hype. Adam Cabot, he is self-proclaimed, I guess, Dover master. Currently 17th out of 18 qualifiers. I'm not sure if he's just sandbagging here to give himself a challenge, but he's already a 2-time winner. He's trying to make it 3 times here, tonight.
Yeah, and I was talking to him before the race, and he said his record here was he won the race 18 seconds over second place, and I think he said there were 4 cars on the lead lap. He said he'd like to repeat that. If he could beat it, he'd be very happy. So, obviously, Adam Cabot, our only multi-time winner this season. 17th. I mean, I don't think that's where he intended to start at. And he's gonna have to work his way up. And I don't think we really have talked about it, but this week so far, or what I've seen in practice, there is a ton of tire fall off, about 2.5 seconds worth of fall off. If anybody remembers the race at Iowa, we saw guys absolutely wheeling the car at the beginning of the run and then pretty much out of control after 20 or 25 laps on tires. And then they had a stretch at 40, almost 60 laps. And then at the last one, we had an 82-lap run. Tonight, will we get that? I don't think we can make it that long on fuel, but I think 65 to 70 laps is going to be the absolute max for fuel and tires. Will we see anybody? I think short pitting is going to be interesting to see. It's going to be big if you can short pit just at the right time where you can gain time not only on pace, but gain time in the pits as well. Pit road, if we do get green flag pit stops, is going to be very crucial. 35-mile-an-hour pit road. You're going 150, 160 mile an hour in these corners. You're going to have transition down onto the apron, which these cars do not like, and then slow it down from about 150 miles an hour all the way down to 35 miles an hour and a long, winding pit road down this front stretch while guys are lapping by you at the start-finish line at 175 miles an hour. And these guys you're going to go 2 laps down. If you pit and then a caution comes out, your race, you are put way behind and most likely out of contention.
Yeah, it's this is a race that very much has the likelihood of going green. We did see some guys struggling in practice a little bit, losing the back end, especially with that tire fall off you mentioned. Going to have to really manage that throughout the night. 160 laps, 160 miles here at this 1 mile high banked concrete oval here in Dover, Delaware. Looking forward to a good event tonight. And the race is brought to you by Martin Sports, also the series sponsor. You can learn more about them. Use the command ! Martin Sports in chat, and you can get the link to their website, or you can check it out in the race description. But thanks again to Martin Sports for all that they do to help keep this league going, and being a big part of things here. And all the other sponsors as well. You'll hear from them throughout the race. But just about a minute left here in qualifying, and looks like AJ Stravato will be the pole sitter here tonight. Does he have any poles this season? Yeah,
I don't think so. Actually, yeah, he's going to be a new pole sitter. I think that's 6 or 7 on the year?
8, I think.
8. We've had 8 different. Good Lord, man.
Yeah.
So Keith, 9 different winners, 8 different pole winners.
Yeah, Keith has 3 and Matthew Zwack has 2. But Chris Samard, Ben Bafford, Dylan Parker, Dane Cruz, Seth Hatchell, and now it'll be AJ Stravato as well. So that makes
so 8. Nice. Should we pull in our pole sitter?
Yeah, let's pull him up here.
All right, let's get him in here. There he is. AJ Stravato, Alec Martinez, Adam Baker in the VC booth. Got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, you're sitting on the pole. Clean air to start this race. How are you feeling here? Obviously, what are you expecting for this race, number 1, and how are you feeling for it?
Honestly, I don't really know what to expect. It'll be just saving the rears is pretty much the name of the game. Honestly, I don't know how the hell I put it down at the lap. I didn't get anywhere within any, I think I was 2/10 off that time in practice. So just glad to qualify up front. I sneak a qualifying. So just hopefully have a clean race. We got to get some points here and hopefully get a win. That'd be nice. I haven't won here at Dover in a little bit, so that'd be cool.
All right. Well, I appreciate you showing up here tonight. Well, we wish you good luck, and go get him here.
We're going to do our best.
All righty.
All right. AJ Stravato, pole sitter here tonight as we take a look at our starting grid from Dover Motor Speedway. AJ Stravato, the number 33 machine. He's going to lead us to the green flag here. Ben Bafford going to roll off from second spot. So a nice starting position for the 23 machine, rolling off from row number 2. Tonight it'll be Ryan Gemmel in the number 6, a race winner this season as well. Matthew Zwack making his return will roll off from the 4th spot. Dylan Parker, strong season for him so far. He starts 5th. Seth Hatchell looking for his first win, rolls off 6th. Keith Mayato going to start from the 7th position. Bailey Turner will roll off from 8th. Chris Samard going to start in the 9th spot. And Reggie Ortega rounds out the top 10.
Last week's winner, Yousuf Ghaly, rolls off 11th. Brody Hayes, second in points, will roll off 12th. Nick Gardner, 13th. Angelo Ronis, 14th. Jeff Wright, 15th. Eric Hutton, 16th. Adam Cabot in 17th. Luke Knupp, 18th. Michael P. Frisch will be rolling off 19th. And Dane Cruz will be running out the top 20.
21st tonight will be Gary Sexton. 22nd, Eddie Trejo. 23rd is going to be Dallas Sullivan. Jordan Brockell rolls off 24th. And that'll do it here tonight. 24 drivers from this 1 mile high bank concrete oval. I don't know how many times I've said that that phrase, but it is a fast racetrack. The Monster Mile, these walls will sneak up on you, especially out of turn, well, really out of turn 2 and turn 4. You can make a mistake in the middle of any of the corners here and find yourself in the wall and your race over. So these drivers are gonna have to be very careful to try and stay off the barriers tonight, as it looks like we are getting rolling here for the 11th race of the season. And it'll be Stravato and Baffert on the front row.
And it's been talked about here. We talked about Rex off of turn 2 to right. Look at that inside and back stretch and front stretch. Inside walls on both. And if we remember anything about Dover, those cars would come down and then back up into traffic. So gonna have to be careful for that if anybody gets loose. And like we said, tire saving, the name of the game tonight. It's going to be a fun 160 laps, 160 miles for the Monster Mile. The Monster's hungry, and he wants some cars for to satisfy him tonight. So, going to be a fun race. Before we get going, Adam, who is your pick?
You're going to give me the first choice here. I'm going to go with Matthew Zwack. Going to see if he can clutch up here and get the victory that he needs to make it up into that top 12.
And I like the new winner trend. We've had 9 different winners. I think we get 10 tonight. I picked him last week, and he didn't seem to do good as good as I thought he would. But this week, I think it's time for him to get redemption. This race suits him. Dylan Parker goes to victory lane at the Monster Mile. Pace car is off 160 miles, 160 laps from the Monster Mile. The Martin Sports 160 is underway. AJ Stravato, Ben Baffert on the front row. Green flag is out, and we're underway.
Field works their way into turn 1. Gemmel able to get a nice jump there. Ben Baffert did not get rolling, and he's going to lose a few positions here. Already back to 5th. Look at this out at the front. Here comes Dylan Parker.
Gemmel already trying to make a move on Stravato down the back and into turn 3. Stravato starting to blink a little bit. Gemmel way up the racetrack. Here comes Parker into 3rd. Zwack into 4th. Mayato side by side for 5th with Ben Baffert as Stravato leads lap 1.
Yeah, AJ Stravato out in front, but he's got Ryan Gemmel all over the tail right there. And then it's going to be Dylan Parker in 3rd on the back bumper of the 6th, basically pushing him up out of turn number 2. Zwack back here in 4th all by himself. And then Mayato also kind of on his own.
Parker using the outside. He gets by Gemmel, gets tight off the corner. Now he pulls almost even with Stravato. Now goes to his outside. Parker looking for the lead early. Stravato using the bottom. Parker in the outside lane. Parker's going to storm by on the outside. Never thought I'd see 2 lanes working at Dover again. But side by side for the lead into 3 as they haul the mail into 3. Still side by side for the lead. Parker will clear Stravato off of 4.
Dylan Parker to the point here in the number 25 machine. He's had a good season and wants to continue it here. He'll take the lead, get that bonus point for leading a lap. AJ Stravato, pole sitter, falls to 2nd now.
A lot of jostling for position, and about the 8th position, Reggie Ortega, Ben Baffert, Jeff Wright, Brody Hayes, and Adam Cabot starting to move his way up through the field. Parker, you can see on board with Reggie Ortega. Side by side behind him for the 10th position is Jeff Wright and Brody Hayes. Wright clears Hayes, and now Ortega goes by Baffert. You can see Baffert really trying to save his tires. Wright will go by him now as well, and Wright cracks into the top 10 and goes into 9th. Baffert back to 10. Now Hayes trying to make a move on Ben Baffert. Now Adam Cabot underneath Hayes for the 11th position. He'll take it.
Cabot already up 6 positions here in the first 5 laps. He's going to try and get another one to get into the top 10. Looks to the inside here on Ben Baffert. Baffert shuts the door for the moment, but here comes Cabot now through the center of the turn, trying to get alongside. That is tight racing there out of turn 2. He'll get alongside, though, down the backstretch into turn 3. Move Adam Cabot into 10th position.
At the head of them, Reggie Ortega just got by Bailey Turner, and now Jeff Wright sets his eyes on the 24 as Turner almost gets to the outside wall up ahead of Reggie Ortega. Ortega really moving up positions right now. Jeff Wright now goes to the outside of Bailey Turner. The VSPEED teammates ahead of them are battling for position. Here goes Seth Hatchell underneath Keith Mayato for 2nd, and he's going to take it away. Gemmel gets by Stravato for 2nd. Zwack sets his sights on the 33 as well. A lot of moving around, a lot of guys pushing these cars early. Will it hurt them in the long run is the question. Gemmel, how about Ryan Gemmel? Won at Talladega, missed last week, and he's running in the 2nd position already. Ryan Gemmel having a strong run, trying to turn that season around.
Yeah, he had a really rough season. I think 17th was his best finish up until the win. And right now, this would be, I would consider this his best run of the season. you know, just on speed alone. You know, it's only 9 laps in, but this is the highest kind of running position that we've seen him in really all season. So, good start to the race.
Abbott making a pass on his teammate Bailey Turner, but up for third now, like we just had it on, was Matthew Zwack right on the back bumper of AJ Stravato off of turn 4. And right now can't seem to make a move, kind of stuck in that bubble here as Dylan Parker is a second ahead of Ryan Gimmel, and Gimmel's starting to ease away at that gap, but maybe Parker's trying to back it down. Has Clean Air way ahead. Other than that, really no movement. Ben Bafford back down to 18th, really saving his tires. See if that pays off in the long run. I feel like he might be losing way too much track position here. As been talking to some of the guys, the run seems to last about 70 to 75 laps. Will we see guys try to short pit? That's a good question. I think we probably will start seeing guys about 60 to 65 come in and really try to gain some track position.
Yeah, Ben Bafford already back 5.2 seconds in 18th position. Just so much time lost. I'm not sure that's going to work out for him. We'll have to, you know, wait and find out as this run goes on. We didn't ask for you to cheer on your favorite drivers at the start of the race, so of course cheer on your favorite driver out there on the racetrack. Who do you think is going to win tonight's race? And we'll try and follow along throughout the event. Already 12 laps into it here is Yousuf Ghaly, last week's winner, taking a peek to the inside of Brody Hayes. That's the battle for 11th position. They fight through turns 3 and 4 here. It looks like Yousuf's going to take that spot away. Brody falls back, and here comes Michael Frisch. Big mover already up 7 positions.
Yeah, Frisch really making some good moves here. Following that 54 by Keith Mayato, starting to drop back a little bit. Lost position to Cabot, right? He actually lost about 4 positions and has fallen back now behind Bailey Turner, just ahead of Yousuf Ghaly here, up a little bit up the road. Other than that, pretty much everybody's single file right now, kind of making some positions, getting some positions here. But so far, Dylan Parker, 1.3 second gap over Ryan Gimmel in the lead. Michael P. Frisch starting to close up to the back of Yousuf Ghaly here. Now he'll look under, but goes back in line here right behind the 54.
Looking at all of these guys kind of working their way through turns 3 and 4. Seth Hatchell in the top 5, points leader, looking for that first win. This is one of his better tracks, so I'd expect to see him challenge for a win by the end of it. But how about Adam Cabot up 10 positions? You got to worry about him though. He's burned the tires off early on in races this season, and you know, at the tail end of the run, he'll start to lose a lot of time. It could be another case of that. And you mentioned Keith Mayato losing some positions. Very possible that he is, you know, just saving a little bit and pacing himself.
Could be. And Cabot just goes under Jeff Wright. He'll take away the 6th position. Cabot up another spot. Tell you, Adam Cabot is rolling. Either he has something figured out about Dover, or he's really pushing that car. Is just 2 laps before that, Matthew Zwack went by the 33 of AJ Stravato. Now he's setting his eyes on the 6 of Ryan Gimmel, and he's really closed up as Parker's still about a 1.5 seconds ahead of them. But you can see on board with Matthew Zwack, trying to get away from that dirty air. It seems like Clean Air, you burn up the rear tires a little bit more, but so far Zwack and dirty air kind of burning off the right front, kind of balances out the car a little bit. And it's really helping him right now. He's stuck in about 3rd. He just got by Stravato, and he's looking for 2nd here. It looks like he's trying to ride here, but you know, if he has a little more pace like he thinks he does, he's going to go underneath now. Ryan Gimmel for the 2nd position. He'll try to take it away. Gimmel's going to pinch him down here. Oh, it's actually really loose under, and now AJ Stravato's looking to just kind of ride around here. And looks like Gimmel's going to keep the position. Seth Hatchell now closing up on the battle behind Stravato. Adam Cabot, Jeff Wright, and Reggie Ortega kind of straggling back. Cabot's already caught up to Seth Hatchell for the 5th position.
Yeah, this is kind of an incredible start to the race. He's up 11 positions in just 18 laps. Clearly the biggest mover of the night, but you got other drivers like, taking a look here, there was somebody else, Michael Frisch up 7 positions as they are still fighting with Keith Mayato for top 10 spots. Yousuf Ghaly in the mix right here. All of those guys fighting. How about Luke Knupp? This is one of his better starts to a race. 13th position right now as he gets around Angelo Ronis. So really good start for him, up 5 spots.
All the PPM cars are having some good runs here so far. Reggie Ortega got really loose off of turn number 2. Had a catch, and he did. But yeah, Luke Knupp having a good run as he's Angelo Ronis is kind of caught up to his back bumper. Other than that, not really much movement other than Ronis looking for the 13th position under Knupp, and Knupp's going to give it to him here. you know, some hard battling between Frisch and Ghaly, and man, Frisch really getting the back bumper out. I don't know if we have an onboard with Frisch, but he's right up behind Yousuf Ghaly in these corners. Ghaly a little bit loose. They've kind of ran up on Bailey Turner here. I don't know if these guys are really starting to save tires. As you can see, Ghaly now goes underneath. What does Frisch do? Frisch kind of riding behind. He'll go underneath Bailey Turner now. Turner will lose one position to Ghaly, and now maybe lose another to Frisch as he'll clear. And looks like Bailey Turner either falling off or losing some pace, or starting to save some tire.
It could be any one of those options there. I was going to make a connection to Luke Knupp and another very successful driver here at the Dover Motor Speedway. Luke, an off-road truck driver, off-road vehicle driver in real life, and Dover.
Yeah.
You know, there's another driver, seven-time champion, who started the same way in the off-road vehicle world. Ended up what, 11-time winner here at Dover. So it does play into your hands with the elevation change. He gets a big bobble right there, though.
Brody Hayes. Hopefully don't jinx him here, but yeah, Jimmy Johnson, a heck of a driver here. And yeah, I don't know. I really never asked Luke about his thoughts on Jimmy Johnson. I'm sure, obviously, they come right from the same background. So
Nick Gardner.
Gardner? Oh, that's gonna probably break the toe link. Yeah, I think that suspension is broken.
Yeah, he's still rolling here, but doesn't.
He might be fine.
It's not.
I don't know, he's gonna bring it in though.
Yeah, it's hard to say what's going on. The wheel might be a little bit wobbly right there, but Nick Gardner slams the wall. He'll bring it back in. Did I see?
Really starting to fall off.
Yeah, I think I saw AJ Stravato maybe make a little brush up against the barrier there, and he's got Seth Hatchell right behind him in the 5th position. Cabot Oh, I think what I said is coming true here. He has pushed so hard through the first 25 laps of this race, and you saw Jeff Wright just go right on past him. Cabot could be using his stuff up a little too soon. There's a car slow down there. Is that Bailey Turner?
No, it was Brock Cal. He was just exiting the pits. I think he came in and made an unscheduled pit stop, but using that bottom lane here on the apron. Bailey Turner, though, making a position, trying to get a position, crack his way back into the top 10 at Ortega. As we talked about, Dylan Parker really starting to fall off. Zwack getting passed by AJ Stravato. Stravato takes the 3rd position away from the 18. As these guys battling hard outside the top 10 between Ortega and Mayato. But yeah, Gemmel really starting to run down Dylan Parker.
Dylan pushed the car a little too hard as well. His lead goes from 1.8 seconds now down to just a 1/4 second. That is how much he has lost here over the last handful of laps. Gemmel was 3/10 faster last time around. Now finds himself within that margin. Might be able to get to the lead here within a couple of laps. But they have tracked him down.
It's a train of cars, really. Nobody's really gotten away. It seems like if you pull away as far as Dylan Parker did, it's going to bite you here. As you can see, Gemmel now looking right behind him, got a nice run. It seems like he just has more drive off and more stability in the back end off the corners. So you can see he's going to try to make a move underneath Parker. Parker just doesn't have the drive off. There goes Gemmel to the inside, trying to take the lead away. So he'll send it into turn 3, and he will take the lead with Parker. Fights back on the outside. Here comes Stravato now, closing in behind, side by side off the corner. Who's going to lead the lap? It's too close to call. Gemmel gets it into 1. Trying to clear.
AJ was pushing him down the straightaway. Look, big bobble there from the 6. Here comes Stravato with the run now. He'll look to the inside. He'll send it down into turn 3. Gemmel up on the top side, though. Can he hang on to it? Oh, wow, AJ really drifted up there. But here he comes. He's got the nose out in front. He'll lead the lap. How about that? 2 lead changes in 2 laps.
Race already starting to change. Seth Hatchell just got by Dylan Parker. Stravato takes the lead. Here comes Jeff Wright in the 48. Getting pinched there off of turn 2 by Dylan Parker. Here comes Yousuf Ghaly. Adam Cabot has 5 cars on top of each other.
Oh, boy.
Ghaly gets loose under him. Parker's going to be put in a peculiar spot here. They'll all sorted out. Now Parker will keep the position, set his eyes on Wright, but Parker really starting to fall. How about Yousuf Ghaly working his way into the top 5 almost? He's up into 6 now. Zwack back down to 7. Right now.
Oh, there goes.
Really loose.
I was telling you, he was very, very quick in practice and qualified 11th here. I think a little slower than he would have liked.
Frisch.
Yeah, Michael Frisch continuing to march forward. He goes up now 11 positions from his starting spot. So he and Cabot, biggest movers, nose to tail now.
And for second, Seth Hatchell goes by Ryan Gemmel.
Yeah, this is not a surprise. This is not a surprise to me. Hatchell is so good on the long runs. And how about this? AJ Stravato and Seth Hatchell, these two have run first and second, I don't know, probably 80% of the laps that they've run here in this league. And once again, find themselves in that position here tonight. So, yeah, the guys rising back to the top here. And Hatchell, one of his best tracks, could have a chance to win his first race of the season.
Who's really fallen off, and that's Ben Baffert. Ben Baffert is 20th right now, and he's still slower than the leaders. He's about 8 seconds.
Yeah, 8 seconds.
Yeah.
That's just
and
too far.
I don't know if he's going to be able to make up all that time as Frisch goes by Mayato. Mayato way up the racetrack and kind of diamonds the corner, gets a good run off, but gets loose as well with so Frisch. As now Ghaly starting to close up on Cabot in that 54 car, the 54 Vans car. I just noticed that Vans all over the side of that race car. Underneath his teammate Adam Cabot in the Atlas Chevrolet. Cabot's kind of stalled out as Jeff Wright goes into third, and he'll get by Ryan Gimmel. How about Jeff Wright having himself a good run tonight? And now Ghaly underneath Cabot, Mayato underneath Frisch. A lot of side-by-sides, about 3 rows deep here at the Dover Motor Speedway. As you can see, Ghaly's going to get by Cabot. Man, Mayato slides into the corner into 3. He'll clear Frisch. Kind of, no, he won't. Frisch fights back on the outside here, still side-by-side for the 9th position. Mayato using that inside lane. He'll clear Frisch. Gimmel and Parker going at it ahead of them for the 4th position. Parker cooled his tires down, it seems, starting to gain some time on Gimmel. Zwack is in 6th, and he's trying to get some time on Parker there. So AJ Stravato starting to open up a lead, almost a second over Seth Hatchell in the 8th.
Yeah, those top 2 have broken away by a little bit, but Jeff Wright on the move as well. He's gained 12 spots in this race, and a little bit different than what we've seen from him. He's been one of the guys to burn the tires up on the short run and really have some issues on the long run. Tonight, looking pretty solid here, at least 37 laps in. Still a long ways yet to go here, but AJ Stravato out in front now for 10 or 11 laps, and right back to where he started the race. Seth Hatchell starting to chip away, though. He's gained another 10th there on that last lap, so maybe he's got a little bit more in the tank here, or a little bit better tires than the 33.
Yeah, we're looking at about maybe another 20, 25 more laps on these tires before we're going to probably see green flag pit stops. For the 7th position, or 8th position, Adam Cabot and Keith Mayato going at it. And noticing Dylan Parker using that outside lane, he's actually kind of gaining some time on Ryan Gimmel. And he gets really loose in this contact between Parker and Ghaly, and Ghaly probably not going to appreciate that too much. And Ghaly's now going to go to the inside of Dylan Parker's. Matthew Zwack has a problem off of turn 4.
It looks like he's hanging on to it here. Let's go take a quick look.
Yeah, he was trying to pit, and way too much speed.
He was never going to make it. This is one of the more difficult pit roads to get onto with the way that the turns are so tight here, and the pit road even tighter and flatter. And here he comes now. Going to slow down a little earlier, but he's going to slide.
No. Oh, what a save.
Nice job to hang on to it there, but it will cost him some time.
Let's see how much tire he's going to have left. Or how much tire he's going to have an advantage. He's obviously going to have 41 lap fresher tire. See how much time he can gain. Other than that, they feel kind of getting more spread out here. Stravato a 1/6 of a second gap over Hatchell, then Wright. And Ben Baffert really starting to gain some time. I'll tell you who's really going at it right now is Yousuf Ghaly, Dylan Parker, and Ryan Gimmel. Ghaly has been working on Parker for the last 5 or 6 laps. And you can see it right behind Gimmel here. There's more contact on the corner.
Oh.
Trouble, what a ball. I think Dylan Parker's not happy. And there's contact again. What a save by Dylan Parker. But I think Ghaly had enough of it, and he gave him another bumper here. Now, Parker side by side with Frisch. Wow, what a save.
That is definitely a great save.
A little high there.
Dylan Parker, man, he had to hang on to it right there. Still 7th position, but after leading so many laps in this one, he is faded here for sure. Just pushed the car a little too hard on that short run. Still up here in the mix, though. He's only 3.8 seconds off the lead and yet to make his first pit stop of the race. Frisch up towards the wall there as Cabot was taking a peek to the inside, not able to make that work. Here comes Brody Hayes now charging forward. Brody, one of those guys, good on the long run. Maybe the best of anyone so far this season.
Oh yeah, I think Brody and Keith Mayato, the two teammates, have been really fast on the long runs. Ben Bafford's been good on the long runs as well. Seth Hatchell, you know, a lot of guys have good long run pace. I'm curious to see is Matthews whacked 2 laps down from pitting. See what his last lap was, 24.2, and he's in traffic, so he was a second faster than AJ Stravado, about 0.8 there, and could be a second here. He's right up on the back bumper. Brody Hayes will let him have the inside into turn 3. Chris Samard trying to find some great pace here. Looking on the top 10, Cabot starting to fall back, starting to struggle on those tires, it seems.
Yeah, Samard, one of those guys, he needs a good run. He's got to outperform the 21 of Angelo Ronis, who's a few positions behind him right now in 14th. Angelo, one of those guys, he'll consistently run top 15 each and every week. He's got a big slide right there, right in front of Eric Hutton, who's running in the 15th spot as well.
Great save.
Here he goes now. He'll look to the inside for 14th. He'll take that away, no problem at all.
And Hutton was the fastest car on the racetrack that last lap, might I point out.
I wonder if he went to super save mode, just like Ben Bafford, but not as far back. He's 7.5 seconds off the leader. Ran about the same lap time as Ben Bafford, who's another 2 seconds farther back, so possibly.
Yeah, and Ben Bafford's about 2 seconds behind Eric Hutton. So Hutton really starting to show some great pace in that 88 Yeti coolers. Chevy Camaro. Things kind of getting more spread out here, as we talked about. Yousuf Ghaly has ran down Ryan Gemmel and wasn't as fast as in the last lap, but Gemmel kind of starting to fall off just a tad. But you can see Ghaly gets super tight in that wake. As Gemmel's, we got a caution on the rate. Was that Luke Knupp is around off of turn 4.
Oh, man.
And that's really going to kill Matthews Whack.
Yeah, that could be, that's disaster really for him. Let's go take a look here, see what happens to bring out the yellow flag with Luke Knupp, and maybe a little commentator curse just delayed here after we talked so highly of him there running inside the top 15.
Right in front of his teammates. As you can see Ben Bafford right behind him. Curious to see if we have I think we have an onboard with Bafford to see what happened, but right now Knupp just kind of all by himself, back in, kicks out, and once these cars go around, it's pretty much game over.
Oh,
he hit Bafford, and then Ortega hit him.
Oh man, that's big for the points too, because Reggie Ortega, one of those drivers who's fighting to make it into the top 12, and that is some heavy nose damage. But yeah, let's go on board with Bafford here.
Wow, interesting.
Just nothing that Luke could really do. I think Ben's going to be all right. It doesn't look too bad for him.
Oh, Ortega has a massive hole in the nose.
Yeah, Reggie Ortega's got a very crumpled front end, and Luke Knupp ends up down at the inside wall there. But Reggie Ortega,
a lot of guys pitting here.
Yeah, he'll have to spend some time in the pit box here to get that cleaned up. Looks like AJ...
Stravado didn't have a great stop, and I think Hatchell might have got him off a pit road, and he sure did. Oh, I think AJ Stravado got speeding. He did.
Man.
Oh, boy. And
let's take a look.
Goes to the lead, and now Jeff Wright in second.
Gonna take a look here at the race off of pit road and see how close it was.
Oh. Bafford coming into his stall here, and now Wright had a great pit stop. Almost got by Hatchell, and you can just see right there. Hatchell I think that's where Stravado might have sped.
I don't know how he even got speeding in such a short distance, but he is
35 miles an hour. I think that's the big thing. He might have hit 40, 41 there.
Wow, yeah. I mean, these cars do have quite a bit of power and plenty of grip to get rolling out of the pit box. But, yeah, he will go to the tail end of the longest line here, and Luke Knupp will bring it back down to the service of his crew. Hatchell inherits that top spot. Jeff Wright behind him, Ryan Gemmel, Yousuf Ghaly, Michael Frisch, the top 5. Frisch, 14 positions in 5th. I wonder if we can get a word in with him.
Michael Frisch. Let me see. Is he in Discord is the question.
Let's see.
I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't think he is. So maybe another time we'll get him up here.
Maybe. Hold on. Let's see if we can get him. I don't know. Yeah, no, he's not in Discord at the moment.
Yeah. That's all right. We'll talk to him another time. But
should we get in him, or should we get anybody else in here? I think is the real question.
Maybe Adam Cabot. He did gain a lot of spots on that run. Still up here in the top 10.
Cabot. Let me dial him up here. Adam Cabot, Alec Martinez, Adam Baker, the VC booth. Got a copy?
Hey, Alec. Yeah, I got you.
Well, your standards were set high. You said you needed an 18-second lead to be your new record here. Wasn't the run that you probably were hoping for, but you got up at least 8 positions. How are you feeling for this next run, and what did you learn?
Hopefully learned a lot. Yeah, no, that 18-second lead is definitely not going to happen tonight. Definitely not in this car. But it's really tough to make anything happen in clean air, and you kind of just have to mega save the beginning of the run. So my thought was starting so deep since I almost spun out in qualifying. I just wanted to make up a bunch of spots, as many as I could, just to try to catch a caution. And luckily, just caught a caution right there. But now I'm gonna probably try to take it a little easier and see what I can do saving. But it's going to be tough. I think AJ took off that last run. I expect Seth to take off on this run. Clean air really allows you to save your tires well. So we'll see what we can do. But yeah, I think my Dover streak, it's going to be tough to keep that going tonight.
All right, well, we wish you good luck tonight, brother, for the rest of the race, and go get him out there.
All right, thanks, Al.
Adam Cabot, yeah, well.
I think he's accurate. Yeah.
Tell me how much the next-gen cars really tighten up the field, if you so will. Yeah, love it. That's why we love it. It's great, other than safety issues and a few other things.
Yeah, we don't have,
pretty good.
Luckily, we don't have to deal with those in the virtual
Yeah.
world here. But yeah, Adam Cabot going to restart from 9th. We'll see what he can do here, if he can gain another 8 positions and challenge for that race lead. But Seth Hatch will lead him into the restart zone. Jeff Wright on the outside. Good jump for the 8 machine. Jeff Wright, though, much better than Ben Bafford when he was on the front row, able to at least fight for second place with Ryan Gemmel.
Gemmel in second, but man, look at Jeff Wright use that outside lane. He's going to try to use it and clear Gemmel, and I think he will. Yes, he will. Now side by side for 5th between Michael P. Frisch and the 36th of Keith Mayato. And I'm also seeing Brody Hayes starting to creep into the picture. Mayato using that outside lane here.
And Mayato starting to move back forward now. Started in 7th, but at one point was outside the top 10. Now fighting for 4th with Yousuf Ghaly, who's down on the inside lane. And looks like Keith pushing a little bit harder on this restart.
I think people realize that track position is tough, but it is also nice to get. And then you start saving forward at the front, though, ahead of these guys. Jeff Wright starting to pressure Seth Hatchell for the first position. I don't think Wright's really led many laps. He's going to get to the outside, going to carry that momentum off. They're going to be almost side by side. Wright gets right next to him. Almost a little contact. Now they're side by side into 3. Wright trying to take the lead, and he will.
Yeah, power move to the top side there. Jeff Wright will take the lead away. Has not led tonight. Leads at the line for the first time. Up from 15th starting position, the 48 car to the top of the charts. As Ryan Gemmel going to try and defend for 3rd position. He's got 2 teammates behind him here. And all 3 of those drivers race winners this season, currently running in the top 5. Yousuf Ghaly behind them as well. And Michael Frisch, look at this. They are just so tight to each other here through 3 and 4.
5-car trade. Now Mayato's going to go underneath his teammate Ryan Gemmel for the 4th position, or 3rd position. He'll take that away. Hayes goes underneath for 4th. I think you're going to see a lot of different guys. They've figured out what they need to do in this second run here. Got to save those tires. I think Gemmel's trying to do that. Now Ghaly underneath him for the 5th position. And looks like Gemmel's going to hold on to it here. Ghaly's going to stay to that inside. Can't get next to him. And now Gemmel will keep the 5th position. Starting to notice here, obviously, Jeff Wright starting to open up a lead. We saw what happened to Dylan Parker when he opened up that big of a lead. Now he's got a 7/10 of a second lead so far. I think we're going to see a lot of different guys here. They know what to do now. And will it help him in the long run, I think is the question.
And Dylan Parker, speaking of him, he is running in the 8th position. Still a nice solid performance to this point. Chris Samard behind him having a great night. Qualified 9th, running 9th. Adam Cabot behind them inside the top 10. Bailey Turner, Eric Hutton gained a few spots on that restart. He finds himself in the 12th position. And Angelo Ronis right there with him. How about AJ Stravato trying to fight his way back forward? Currently 16th. After speeding on pit road there, but he finds himself behind Ben Bafford, who's probably a good guy to be behind. He'll clear the way on the way through the field, but he's now going to look to the inside of the 23.
I think Bafford's doing his same thing. It worked at Iowa. It hasn't worked so far, but remember we saw something similar to this at Iowa, where we had a caution 40-something or 20-something laps into the race, and then at the end it went really, really long. But I'm hearing Bafford is having problems with his throttle, that it's sticking.
Oh, that is not a good thing at a track like this. I know there's, you know, not a ton of off-throttle time, but it does exist. You can't just floor it around here. As Dallas Sullivan is pressuring him. Dallas with a nice strong run here. Another driver who could fight his way into the top 12. Needs probably about a top 10 finish here tonight.
Oh, and a big gaggle of cars for the in the fifth position. Gemmel and Ghaly side by side. Frisch, and how about Chris Samard? Really turning up the heat lately, trying to get those points. He's 1 point off the cutoff, and now he's going to the outside of Ghaly. Samard goes into 6. Ghaly fights on the inside. We'll let him go here, and now Samard into the 6th position. Now Frisch to the outside of Yousuf Ghaly here for 7th, and he'll take it away as they go down the front stretch. Now Frisch tries to cross over. Samard thinks better of it. Behind them, Cabot underneath Parker. He'll take the position away. Bailey Turner almost gets into the back end of Parker. Now Parker crosses over Cabot, and he sets his eyes on Ghaly. Frisch underneath Samard now for 6th. And Lon Johnson for position over here at Dover.
Yeah, it is never ending seemingly. If you get past someone, they just cross you over. Here is really tight out of turn 4, the 58 and the 77. And Yousuf Ghaly right there behind them. If anything goes wrong, there's about 4 or 5 cars that are going to get caught up in this. And Dylan Parker, though, he was battling with Adam Cabot, I believe, at Darlington, was it? And those two, yeah, they got together. So I don't know if there's any tensions between them, but they run 9th and 10th at the moment. And Yousuf Ghaly, the race winner from last week, he'll run 8th. Farther up the field, Brody Hayes gotten clear of Ryan Gemmel in that 4th position. So Brody, another solid top 5 performance, and the field really is spread out a little bit here amongst the top 3.
Samard using that outside lane on his teammate of Ryan Gemmel. He'll take the 5th position away. Samard cracks his way into the top 5 using that outside line or middle, swoops it down a diamond part of the corner as Frisch now tries to pass Gemmel. But yeah, Samard really moving his way up, and I just want to point out the top 4, the top front 2 rows that started this race are all running outside the top 5.
That is kind of a wild thing to think about. Yeah, the top 2 starters run 14th and 15th. AJ Stravato and Ben Bafford, you can see him on the screen right now. That is the battle for 14th. Reggie Ortega behind them. He's got heavy damage from the last wreck. He'll run in 16th. Doesn't look too far off the pace, though. So that is good news.
Oh, it's tighter. I think that front end really hurting him, at least in dirty air. And obviously on the straightaway, that doesn't help either, how fast we're going here. I think another thing for Ortega to watch is his temperatures. Obviously, he hit pretty square in the nose. And I think that could also lead to some overheating in the front end of that number 2 Black Rifle Coffee Chevy Camaro. But side by side for 5th, little contact actually, or for 6th. Contact between Gemmel and Frisch. Now Ghaly closes up into the battle as well. But yeah, making a little contact. Frisch in the 58 bar visual Chevy Camaro and the BLB Bush League bound number 6 Ryan Gemmel up on the outside. And that Chevy Camaro's they're loose off of 4 or off of 2, almost making more contact. As Jeff Wright, almost a 2-second lead. I wonder if that's really going to hurt him in the long run.
It's about what we saw out of Dylan Parker. He got to 1.8 seconds, and then the margin started to drop. Right now, it's at 1.7 for Jeff Wright. And Hatchell, one of those guys who could save his stuff pretty well. So I would imagine that starts to drop here. Oh, Gemmel's in the wall. Yeah, Michael Frisch, these two going at it here for the 6th position. Frisch, one of those drivers you expect to come out here and contend for a win probably each and every race. And he's not had the performances so far in his races here in the league, but making a good effort at it here as he moves into the top 5, goes right on by Chris Samard.
Yeah, Samard falls back to 6th. Frisch really starting to make up some good time. Ghaly now looking underneath Gemmel for the 7th position. It's like these guys starting to get a little bit tighter in the center of the corner. I'm starting to notice, so maybe it's the wake or the setup starting to tighten up as more rubber gets put down. Gemmel really holding on here. I don't know if he's saving his tires or if he's just trying to keep his pace up and keep some track position here.
A fastest car on the track, Seth Hatchell. And the margin now 0.3 closer than it was a couple laps ago. So he's doing exactly what he did in the last run and just trying to make up the ground. And Jeff Wright, I thought he had learned his lesson. You know, that first run, he looked really good on the long run. And it looks like he maybe is using it up a little bit too much. He still has a good lead, 1.3 seconds but Hatchell each time down into turn 3 gains just a little bit more, and look at that, ticks down under 1.2 seconds now at the line.
Oh, Ryan Gimmel got trouble in turn 3. Ryan Gimmel's around, and he's up into the outside wall. I don't know if there was, he was racing with Yousuf Ghaly. I don't know if there was contact between the two. That car doesn't look too bad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it looked like there was.
I don't know if Yousuf just got to the throttle a little early there. There was an opening, but yeah, I mean, he missed the opening, and he got the bumper of the 6 machine who slaps the outside.
Might be fine.
Yeah, not too hard of a hit. That would be
Or
maybe
all body contact.
Yeah, that would maybe be concussion worthy in real life, but here in the sim.
Yeah. I tell you, yeah. But now we're going to have a lot of guys probably come in again, get some tires as they all are coming in. Pretty decent hit to the front end, and would have hurt in real life.
Yeah, but it doesn't look too bad. I don't even see any scrapes on the car. So he might be in okay shape here. We'll have to see how his steering looks.
Coming in here. 6 sets of tires I seen. So 5 in the pits. They're going to be taking their second set. Jeff Wright out of the box pretty quick. Will Hatch will have a better stop? Doesn't look like it. Jeff Wright will win the race off of pit road. Keith Mayato into 3rd. Hayes into 4th. And looks like Frisch into 5th. Then Samard Parker. As Matthew Zwack back on the lead lap, might I point out. 2 cautions falling perfect for him. And now Luke Knupp trapped the lap down. I don't know if he's going to try to take the wave or get some tires and hope for another caution. As, believe it or not, we are almost halfway through this race.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to believe we've knocked out 75 laps already. Luke Knupp, yeah, sitting there at the tail end of the lead lap. Or, sorry, tail end of 1 lap down. Looks like he's going to try and take a wave around and at least try and get that second or one of his 2 laps back. Reggie Ortega sitting up pit road. He's going to now get rolling, but continuing to get damage fixed on the 2 machine.
And noticing Trejo and I believe Brockel. Brockel, I believe, had some damage and is out of this race. Dylan Parker? He's dropping. I don't know why he's dropping.
Wonder if he got a penalty of some sort. See what happened here.
I'm not sure. Yousuf Ghaly also going down to the back as well.
He just pulled down to the inside.
Oh, yeah. No, I think he was probably trying to fix something. Might have shut the car off. I'm not sure. Huh. Interesting.
Huh.
Alrighty.
I think he's back in position now, but yeah, interesting. I'm not sure what happened there. But it'll be Jeff Wright, Seth Hatchell on the front row here. We'll see what lane the 48 picks. I think usually the inside is the preferred groove.
Yeah, that bottom kind of rolls. Top lane doesn't seem like it gets as good of a restart. I don't know if they're spinning the tires or not, but it doesn't seem like the top lane gets as good of a start. We saw Bafford lose a few positions, and then we also saw Jeff Wright lose about a position there that last run. Looks like Knupp's going to get the wave around. He'll be back on the lap. Gonna probably have to hope for a caution because he's on 20 lap old tires. At least gonna be a second off pace compared to everybody. It'll be interesting here.
The lights on the pace truck will go off. To recap, we've had 2 cautions, only 4 official lead changes, but a few of those coming in short succession there when we had that wild battle at the front.
And nothing short of excitement here tonight. There's just been nothing but exciting racing going on here tonight. To all those watching, thank you for tuning in here to the Martin Sports 160 at Dover. Appreciate you watching. Cheer on your favorite drivers tonight. Tell us who you're rooting for in the chat. We've had one heck of a show, and I think these boys are going to keep putting it on here next week. Regular season finale at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Seth Hatchell is your points leader over Brody Hayes by, I believe, 18 points. So, yeah, if you got to finish this race, and then we'll head on to Charlotte, and then it's all-star time, right? Premier Series driver and Contender Series drivers be in that one here. That'll be fun, but we got to restart. Going to have close to halfway. There'll still be one more pit stop to go. It's going to be fun. Going to be wild. Yep. Jeff Wright, Seth Hatchell on the front row.
It'll be right on the inside lane. Going to bring the field into the Geico restart zone. Pace truck onto pit road. Into the restart zone, the 48. Nice jump there. Here comes Mayato now. Going to challenge for second straightaway. and he'll battle his teammate down into turn number 1. And Hatchell not going to give up though, but Mayato's just going to take it away just like that. Hatchell gets shuffled back to 3rd, and now Keith Mayato, one of the most consistent drivers all season long, finds his way up to the runner-up spot, and he's got his eyes set on the race leader.
Yeah, oh, there's contact back in the middle of the pack. Baffert and Hutton, they almost go spinning. Look at Michael Frisch goes underneath Brody Hayes, almost makes contact with them. They all save it back in the pack. Now the battle is for the lead. Mayato starting to run down right now. Frisch underneath Hayes. Look at Dylan Parker way up the racetrack, trying to use that outside lane. Bailey Turner up into 6th or into 7th. Now Parker goes underneath Hayes for 5th.
Yeah, huge run from Dylan Parker as he continues to try and march back to the front. And Brody Hayes.
I think these guys realize that they can split this run in 40. I think they'll be fine.
Brody Hayes almost got run over there by Bailey Turner, but they live to tell the tale. There's a driver back here we haven't talked about too much having a solid run. Dane Cruz, 13th position. One of those guys who's, you know, in the top 12.
Oh, we're 3 wide, turn 2, it's Frisch. Hatchell and Parker, they sorted out. Look at Dylan Parker using that outside lane.
Got to be careful not to burn his stuff up like he did on the first run, though.
They're really, really hauling the mail through these corners. Parker using that outside. Look at the run he gets down the straightaway. Looks like he's fine. Looks like he builds more of a run in 1 and 2. Now Frisch to the outside of Mayato. Mayato drifts up the racetrack. Looks like Wright's trying to save his tires as, oh, Frisch almost gets up into the outside wall. Parker shoving him down the backstretch into 3.
And look at this battle for 2nd place right behind Jeff Wright. Frisch with a huge run to the top side. He's going to take that spot away. And Dylan Parker is going to try and do the same thing right here for 3rd position. The 25 on the move. So is the 58 and the 48, watching all of it happen in his mirror. Jeff Wright having a nice solid performance. But here comes Michael Frisch going to try and take the lead away in turns 3 and 4. Gets tight.
Got really tight underneath. Now he kicks loose. Look at Parker using that momentum on the outside. He goes up to the outside lane. Wright can't defend it. Now they're side by side for 2nd. Frisch, Parker. Parker rolls the outside lane. He'll take the 2nd spot. And now he sets his eyes on Jeff Wright. Wright starting to pick up the pace a little bit as well. I don't know. Will these drivers try to split it 40-42?
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what the pit strategy call is going to end up being here. They've been able to do about a 40-lap run already, and we saw the fall off there for some of these drivers who pushed about this hard at the beginning. But Dylan Parker trying to get back to the lead here, working the top side each and every corner. Not going to be able to get the run, I think, this time as Jeff Wright.
Sorry to cut you out. That's really, really burning off Dylan Parker's tires. That right front's got to be cooking.
I guess it's better than the right rear, but you're definitely going to just get tighter and tighter. But big bobble there from Jeff Wright.
And now Parker's underneath Wright. Wright's going to have to fend him off on the outside. Parker just like he's a little more comfortable rolling that outside. As you can see, Parker gets loose underneath. Frisch is starting to close up. It's about a 3-horse race. And can I just point this out? The top 3 have not won ever in their BTDY careers.
Oh man, Dylan Parker, big shove out of turn 2, gets to the back bumper. Now he's going to look to the inside. In turn number 3, he's got the nose out in front. Can he complete the pass? Not going to be able to this time.
Parker's going to side draft him down this front stretch, and he's able to work, but now Parker's using that inside lane, drifts up the racetrack. And here comes Frisch to capitalize. Parker loose off the corner.
Yeah, nice run for Frisch as the 25 was sliding there out of turn 2. And you got to go over a second, nearly a second and a half back to Keith Mayato leading his teammate Seth Hatchell. These guys are just running easy right now. They're seeing the top 3 drive away. They'll come back to him, though, the way that these 3 are pushing.
From what I'm seeing, it seems like they're going to try to cut this run in half with the way they're driving. There is no way they're going to be pushing this hard if they were going to try to make it to the end.
Yeah,
I'll tell you.
It would be impossible. And I think it would be a smart strategy to just pit in general, no matter what kind of pace you're running right now, because there's so much fall off at the end of the run.
Who knows? It could come down to a tire gamble and who pits at the right time. I'll tell you what, though. Wright was backing it off, and he's starting to push now that he's got Michael P. Frisch all over his back bumper. Now Frisch down to the inside. Wright tries to take the air away from him, and he does. Frisch gets that arrow wash up the corner into that wake, and now Frisch is going to have to find a way to get around right and get out of that dirty air.
Yeah, the 58 caught the apron just a little bit there out of turn number 4, and that slowed him up. But now he's, you know, gotten back on the horse here, and he's right up behind him, just a half car length. And now the 48 touches the apron, and he's going to lose some momentum. Big bobble out of turn number 4.
What a save now. That gives Frisch the outside lane to pinch right. Right's going to drift up the racetrack. They're going to make contact in the middle of 1 and 2. Side by side for the lead here at Dover. A phenomenal racing going on here at the front. Right sends it down to the inside. Frisch is sent to the outside. Frisch gets tight now. Right clears Frisch for the lead, and he'll keep it. Now Frisch tries the crossover to the bottom.
This is like they're racing for the win here, but we still got almost half the race remaining. The 48 and the 58 battling hard. This is allowing the second group of cars. Oh, nice save, though, by the 58.
That's really going to hurt Frisch's tires, though. Now Wright could start backing it off, but I'll tell you who that all closed up. Keith Maiato, Seth Hatchell, Brody Hayes, and Bailey Turner are starting to reel these boys in.
Yeah, they didn't even have to change their pace. Those guys just started battling like crazy. And you can see Dylan Parker is
so loose.
Dylan Parker as well, and Keith Maiato's in the wall. He had to check up for the 25 of Dylan Parker and made that adjustment and couldn't get the car pointed in the right direction. Just caught the outside barrier, but looks all right. Looks like Hatchell and Brody Hayes are going to go by. Here comes Bailey Turner. So once again, Dylan Parker just using his stuff up a little too soon. And he's going to start to fade here. Adam Cabot a long ways back as well. He's nearly 4 seconds behind the leader.
Man, yeah, they're pretty far back, but man, how about the phenomenal racing we've seen tonight? What a show Michael Frisch, Dylan Parker, and Jeff Wright have put on so far for the battle for the lead from lap 80 to lap 96. Frisch got loose off of turn 2, and you can see he's really going to start sliding around here as Keith Maiato starting to set his eyes up on the 58 bar. Vicious Camaros. Oh, man, Frisch almost gets into the wall as Wright now opening up that lead to about a second over Frisch and Maiato. Seth Hatchell about a second and a half behind. These guys starting to, the guys that were saving like Adam Cabot and Bailey Turner are starting to run down, or sorry, Ben Bafford are starting to run down Dylan Parker's. Frisch now at the racetrack. Maiato will take second. Now Hatchell looks for third here off of 2. Hatchell really starting to, I think Maiato and Hatchell are going to be battling for the lead here pretty soon.
Yeah, Brody Hayes coming right there with him, though. And then Bailey Turner, not too far back. He's having a nice, clean, solid run in the 24 machine. Looking good out here tonight. Adam Cabot, his teammate, is definitely closing in as well. Last time across the stripe, he was the fastest car on the racetrack. So I think he's learned his lesson from those first couple of runs. And, and we got a car in the wall. That is AJ Stravato.
Oh, they're 4 wide into 3, or 3 wide now. I don't know what happened.
Did Frisch catch the wall at the same time?
I think, no, Frisch got really loose battling with Bailey Turner. I'm curious to see what happened to Stravato here in a few laps after this clears up.
We're going to go take a, oh my goodness.
Oh, Dylan Parker.
Wow.
See what you could, oh, look at that. That's amazing how that wasn't a wreck.
Let's go back here one more time. AJ just got loose behind the 25. He was on his bumper and then just caught the wall. But his car looks all right, so should be okay to continue as he falls outside the top 10. But Dylan Parker, Dylan's still struggling here.
Yeah,
Jeff
Dylan's
Wright
tired.
brushes the wall.
Oh, Parker, man, I almost cut into Stravato again. But yeah, at the front though. Oh, Frisch is spinning into the pits, and he made it. Bold strategy.
Let's see.
Frisch bringing it in pit road at transition. Wow, I almost got into the pit barrels.
Exactly what Matthews Whack did.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Just a little bit faster.
And now Keith Maiato is hounding Jeff Wright here for the lead. Really starting to slide. There goes Maiato down to the bottom. Wright brushes the wall off of 4. And now where does Maiato try to go? He'll use that middle lane, try to diamond it around the 48. And 48 really starting to slide that back bumper as he almost gets into Maiato. And I'll tell you who's closing up the gap. Adam Cabot and Ben Bafford. Comers and goers. I mean, look at this.
Yeah, you've got to really conserve your stuff. You can push as hard as you want in that short run, but it is going to cost you. And we're seeing that right now. Jeff Wright losing the lead. He's going to lose second as well. And then Brody Hayes is right here in the 4th position. He's going to be looking to take 3rd away in probably a few laps.
Right. Dylan
yeah.
Parker is back down to 16th.
Just pushed so hard there, running that top side, and got nothing left. Is he shutting the engine off, though?
I'd be bold if he's trying to make it on fuel. I don't think tires would be able to make it that long, if I'm being honest. I just don't think so, as I believe... Man, Jeff Wright is just fighting for his life here.
Tell you what, Dylan Parker is clutching it. He's clutching it. 55 laps to go next time.
He's going to have about a lap and a half of cushion at this rate. He has a lap and a half of cushion to save fuel. Well, is anybody else trying to save fuel? I think is another question as well. Yeah. A guy like Dane Cruz, a guy like Dallas Sullivan trying to save fuel. Could that help? They're ahead of Parker. Sullivan closing up on Parker, but Cruz ahead of Parker. Could be something to watch for here as Bailey Turner gets passed by his teammate Adam Cabot. Now Ben Bafford, who was involved in the first caution of the day, is up to 7th and is now setting his eyes on Bailey Turner for 6th.
And Jeff Wright, did he? Oh, no, I think it's connection. Yeah.
To Brody
Hayes. He's in the wall.
And he's sliding that back in. Although I think he's going to try to make it at least another 8 or 9, maybe 10 laps here, because cut this run in half.
Yeah, it would be important to go a little bit farther, but he might not be able to.
Whoa.
Big slide out of turn 4.
Trouble down the back. I think Ryan Gemmell has hit the inside wall.
He's on the pit road now.
Yeah,
he's got damage for sure.
Yeah. Now Bailey Turner is underneath Jeff Wright for 5th here. They're side by side into turn 3. Bafford closing in on the battle as well. Look at this, 3 cars under a blanket. Man, Wright really hanging that back end out. Now Bafford underneath him for the 6th position. Turner gets 5th. Jeff Wright, he's holding on for dear life right now.
Yeah, he's fallen now to 7th position. And how about the battle up front? Seth Hatchell trying to track down his teammate Keith Mayato. And they're closing in on Matthew Zwack, who is about 22 seconds behind. And
is he saving fuel?
I'm not too sure. I mean, he looked like he came back in on lap 30 or 32 laps ago. So it was at the end of the caution to top off. But he is very far back. He may be trying to stretch it here.
He's really, really slow.
Yeah, I'm not sure. He doesn't.
I can't believe he's pitting.
Yeah, Zwack doesn't have damage, and he's not clutching or anything. But here comes Wright Biggs.
Oh no! The inside wall. Those transitions. Oh. I think he might have killed the car though.
Yeah, let's go back here. Just like what we'd seen, but he lost it a little bit too much. Yeah, as it comes down.
Right on that transition. He was fine, and then he hit the pit barrel and the guardrail.
Yeah, about the worst place you could hit. It's it's basically a divergent angle there, so it's a really hard hit on the nose of the race car. As Bailey Turner and Yousuf Ghaly fighting real hard back here, 6th and 7th. Yousuf gets a little loose there. Looks like Bailey's going to try and take the spot on the top side.
Hayes and Cabot were battling. Cabot's going to get 3rd.
Here comes Ghaly.
Yousuf Ghaly. Oh, man. I think he made it in time.
Yeah, let's go back and take a look here.
That transition is dangerous.
Nice job, though, to get it woed up there and on the pit lane.
Oh, and Frisch has disconnected, I believe. He sped on pit road.
Well, the big slide there. Oh, that is unfortunate. A contender in this race.
Yep, and Gemmell, I believe, had some trouble as well. I think from him hitting the inside wall.
Keep an eye on Yousuf here. He is a guy who
pretty soon. There you go.
He's been pretty good on the long run. And Jeff Wright is back on the racetrack and up to speed right now.
Wright's got to save his tires, though. He's going to have to do 50 something. He's going to have to do 55 laps.
Yeah, and his car is damaged, so he may be in rough shape here. How about Keith Mayato, though, out in front? He's like 12 laps. So there's Yousuf Ghaly.
As well. See how much the short pit works. I'll give you the lap times. Keith Mayato 24.7. Jeff Wright was a 23.4.
Even with all the damage, that's incredible.
Yeah. I think the real question is Yousuf Ghaly. What is he going to turn? I think Ghaly with no damage could be better, could set the tone a little bit better for who has speed and who doesn't.
Yeah, Wright was a 23.14, so he even picked it up on the previous lap. Here comes Ghaly across the stripe. 23.48, so not quite as quick as Jeff Wright.
It takes a lap to heat these tires up, so I'm curious to see what he can turn. But look at the ground he's gaining on Keith Mayato.
Yeah.
Habit just got by Zwack. Baffert just got by Hayes. Baffert's up into fourth here. Ghaly turned a 23.3. Well, Mayato turned a 24.9. So about a second.
1.6.
Second and a half.
Yeah. That is a large margin to make up. Yeah, I mean, they're definitely going to feel it at the tail end of the run, and that's where these guys who are still out here are probably going to make all the ground back up and then some. But they're hoping, the guys that are still out there are probably hoping for a yellow flag to trap those other guys potentially a lap down.
I'm really curious what happened to Matthew Zwack.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, he stopped later, topped up on fuel. Maybe he's just pacing himself. And
he wouldn't want to lose a lap, though, at this point. I don't know if he has a problem.
Yeah, did he make contact with anything?
He didn't take tires.
Oh, here comes Cabot.
Oh, man, he's fast in there, but he made it. Now we're talking about we got these guys splitting this run in half.
Yeah, we are just at the halfway point here. Let's keep an eye on the leaders.
The tire fun is about to begin here. Yeah. Brody Hayes coming in.
From 5th position, he's about 4.8 seconds behind the leader. We'll have to keep an eye on him.
He's gonna miss it. And he missed it, yeah.
He missed it.
A lot of time and speed. I'll tell you who one of the fastest cars on the racetrack was Eric Hutton and Angelo Ronis. They're starting to make up some good speed.
Yeah,
Ortega's in. I believe Keith Mayato is pitting. Yes, he is.
Oh,
and he's pitting. No!
He gets it stopped and keeps it off the wall. So
it's gonna cost him a ton of time, though.
He had a good lead, though. So he will lose time.
Yeah,
but
Hazen, I believe, is that Hazen and Samart are pitting as well. That definitely costed Keith about two or 3 seconds. Man, the woes continue for him, I'll tell you.
Yeah. And I mean, he's not the only one.
As well.
Yeah, he's not the only one to go through that this season. Here comes Hatchell, much more conservative.
Yeah, much better, too.
Yeah.
Travato, man, sent it into the pits. Eric Hutton sent it into the pits, too. And Hutton gained about 2 seconds.
Wow. Keep an eye on that 88. He is always a wild card here. He's a top 5, winningest driver here in this league. He is no slouch. He can get it done when it counts, and he's had great runs here at Dover in the past.
Baffert's still going around the track. He's the leader right now. Bailey Turner is in second. Ronis. Oh, Ronis is in the pit barrels. Oh, that's gonna be huge for the cutoff.
Did he tow it? I think he towed it. Oh man, let's see what happened to him.
He might have got caught up by the transition, it seems. Oh yeah, he locked up in the. Oh!
Wow, the whole back end of the car up off the ground. As Hatchell working off the pit lane, here comes Keith.
Hatchell's gonna be right by him too with 1 lap fresher tires.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit closer, but it was 1.8 or so, and now it's about 1 second.
Well, here's the thing. Ghaly's going to cycle out to the lead, and he's off of turn 2.
Wow.
And then it's going to go right Cabot, Mayato, but I don't think either Cabot's saving or he just doesn't have the pace that he did have in that 17 because Mayato was flying, so was Hatchell. Bailey Turner coming into pit road. Ben Baffert is in pit road right now.
Dallas Sullivan saving fuel right now. He's out there in 3rd position. Keep an eye on him. Was Bailey Turner trying any kind of pit strategy? I mean, no, here he comes.
He's going to make it on the pit road clean. Cruz is going to take the lead, and that'll give him a bonus point, and I think that's going to lock a few. With all this happening, it's going to lock a few guys in into the chase here after this race is over once drop counts as well. Luke Knupp is in pit road, and I believe Dane Cruz, Dallas Sullivan, and Dylan Parker are trying to stretch it on fuel here.
Yeah, I'm not sure if
And
Dane.
they have a lap.
I saw some smoke there coming to pit lane.
I think that was from Knupp trying to make it in. Angelo Ronis back on the racetrack. He is 3 laps down. Baffert and Hayes almost made some contact here. Let's see, we got what do we got here? Almost 30 laps to go. On tires, it looks like Yousuf Ghaly is the first car on tires. Dane Cruz is leading. He's 53 laps on tires. He is a second off the pace. I don't think Cruz is going to be able. Oh, we got a caution! Oh
No
my
way.
God!
That is exactly
Jeff
what they wanted.
Rice around, and Dane Cruz is going to be the leader.
You have got to be kidding me. Everybody is a lap down except for the top 5.
Zwack, Ghaly, Parker, Sullivan, and Cruz. Boys, we just got a whole lot interesting here. And Cabot's the first car lap down.
Oh my goodness. Everybody else will take a wave around here. Well, how about this? Is
Wow.
Yousuf Ghaly going to pit?
Yeah, he probably will because he's gonna have fresh tires than everybody. But so far it's gonna cycle. I think Dylan Parker and Cruz might have a good shot at this.
Let's go see what
With 30
happened.
to go.
See what happened to Jeff Wright here. His race continues to go downhill.
Wow. Oh, something got loose.
Yeah, Keith Maotto right there behind him.
Take a look. And we can talk about Wright was on 20 lap old tires. Yeah, he just got loose. Tried to save it and then it snapped and
Slid
kept trying
across
to
the
wheel it.
track. Yeah.
All right, now let's see what happens here. Dane Cruz, Dallas Sullivan stayed out. He's trapping everybody a lap down.
Is that gonna work for him?
He's gonna try to save fuel.
But the problem is all those other guys on the lead lap are still gonna.
Yeah, he's gonna trap them all a lap down.
No, but Dylan Parker, Dane Cruz, all those guys are coming in though. They're gonna have fresh tires.
I think Dallas is realizing he can get a top 5 out of this.
Wow.
He's trapping everybody a lap down if he stays out.
He's gotta also factor in though that those guys can make a lap up on him on fresh tires
They
alone.
have to make up 2 laps. And Dylan Parker just beat Cruz out of pit road.
Oh my goodness, it just continues to get mixed up here. This is wild. I don't know what Dallas, if he is gonna bring it in here.
Should we pull Dallas in? I gotta ask what's going on here.
Let's wait and see if he brings it down. He's gonna be a sitting duck on the lead lap here, but he will trap all those guys.
But here's the thing, they're all gonna have to pass him twice. He's gonna get a 6th place out of this. And if a caution comes out, he's gonna be in an even better spot. And he's staying out.
I mean, if they make a second a lap on him.
Everybody behind them is pitting. All the guys just got trapped a lap down. They're all pitting.
Oh my goodness.
This just shook up this race. Bailey Turner, Ortega staying out. Wow.
I mean, can Dallas bring it down here now? I think he get penalized.
I think the pits are close for him.
He could still take a tail end of the. He could still take a tail end of the longest line though.
Should we dial him up?
Yeah, I mean, sure. Let's see what he's thinking.
Dallas Sullivan, buddy. You just put this race up on its head. How are we feeling? What's the plan here? What's the goal?
I mean, we're just gonna get to the end of this race. You know, we've been planning this from the last pit stop, and we got 5 cars on the lead lap now.
Yeah.
So
you got 6,
we're good.
actually.
6, yeah. We got one lucky dog there. So yeah, man, we're good to go.
I mean, again, congratulations, brother. You at least got top 6 if this goes green.
I was really disappointed to see that yellow, man. We were good on fuel for that run.
I had a feeling you were saying. I mean, it still worked out, right?
Yeah, it did, but you know, here we are.
All right. Well, we wish you good luck, brother.
Hey, I appreciate you.
All right. Thank you, brother. Good luck, man. Hey, Adam.
Yes, sir.
We have 6 cars on the lead lap.
And only one of them
4
has.
of them
Oh, wait.
have not won.
I was gonna say, yeah, Yousuf Ghaly and Adam Cabot, both race winners. Cabot's gonna have to come from the tail end of the field, though.
Yeah, he's got to start winning back. So, other than Ghaly, looking at this right now, the top Dallas Sullivan has won in this league, correct?
I don't believe so.
Okay,
No, he has not.
4.
He has not won a cup race. I know that.
All right. Well, 4 of these guys are going for their first career win in the Cup Series. Wow.
Yeah.
The PM teammates. I mean, the whole field. I mean, Mayato, Hatchel, Turner, Ortega, all these guys from 8th on or 7th on down, they're trapped if this goes green. They are trapped a lap down. They will not be getting any more spots.
Yeah, I still worry about Dallas. You know, well, first of all, you got to worry about this restart, right? He's got 56 lap old tires.
If he gets a caution, he's fine. But I don't know if he. I mean, no matter what, if a caution comes out, Parker, Cruz, Swack, they're staying out.
Yeah, those guys are staying out. They just stopped. I mean,
it's between Parker, Cruz, Swack, Ghaly, and Ghaly really for the win. 4 cars.
Yeah,
They're gonna have 30 laps to settle it.
Yeah, I don't think Cabot's gonna be able to make up the ground and sustain the tires on a long run. But here we go, right? Pace truck is in. Oh my goodness, it's gonna be Dallas Sullivan on old tires into the restart zone. He gets him going here. Solid restart, but he spins the tires now. Here comes Dylan Parker, gonna take the lead away.
And they're 3 wide behind between Cruz, I believe that's Cruz, Ghaly, and now Turner. But Cruz is gonna get stuck behind Dallas Sullivan. They're 3 wide off the corner behind him. Luke Knupp thought about taking him 3. Look at that. The gaggle with, I believe that's Travato, Hayes, Baffert, all these guys going around. Cruz gives the bumper to Sullivan. Now they're 3 wide off the corner with Hatchel. 4 wide now with Hutton. Doring.
Oh, I lost it there. Sorry. There we go. Oh, they survived it somehow. This is what I'm worried about, though. Dallas, he's got to, it only works if he makes it to the end and he gets in the Samard.
And now that's going to cycle. Now at the front, it is a 3-car battle, but one of them's a lap car, Bailey Turner. Ghaly going for 2 in a row. Parker going for his first win. Ghaly moves him up the racetrack.
He just knocked him right out of the way. Here comes Bailey Turner trying to fight his way back onto the lead lap the hard way. But Yousuf Ghaly now out in front by 4/10. Matthew Zwack. Yeah, wow. Matthew Zwack still off the pace a little bit here, but maybe saving just for the very end of this race. Here goes Mayato also trying to race his way back onto the lead lap. This is so crazy. Yeah, Mayato is a lap down, trying to get back onto the lead lap.
And now Parker's trying to go by Turner, but Ghaly, who would have predicted Yousuf Ghaly going 2 in a row?
Yeah, I would not have seen that coming here. I mean,
Bailey Turner is blocking Dylan Parker down the front stretch, and Parker's going to move him out of the way.
Oh, they're going to contact.
Turner gets knocked loose. Now the battle for the lucky dog. Mayato goes by.
And Mayato up the hill, going to try and use the top side. Bailey Turner down low, trying to get the pass completed. Not going to be able to.
Oh, man, he's side-drafting hard.
Oh, and Mayato just clears him. Yeah, Zwack is the. I think that's what he's doing right now. I mean, he's let Yousuf get out there 1.5 seconds, but we know how fast the cliff approaches, and he's been pretty good on the long run.
Well, if a caution comes out, it's going to be really interesting. But I mean, these guys are battling hard, of course, but Ghaly's up to about a 1/6 of a second lead. I think he can kind of manage the gap here. I think for Zwack, the trouble is that there's 2 lap cars ahead of him.
I don't know what's up with Cabot. He is way off the pace right now.
I think he's hoping for a caution.
Oh, saving tires maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's trying to just save tires. He might try to stay out at the end of this thing if there's a caution.
I think you're right. Yousuf Ghaly out in front now, a 1/2 second in front of Dylan Parker. Your pick to win tonight's race.
I tell you, Dylan he has come from the front to the back, to the front, to the back, to the front. Let me tell you. But him and Ghaly really going at it, and I have a feeling that if Dylan Parker gets to Yousuf Ghaly, he is not going to be nice.
Yeah, and how about this? My pick running in 3rd. Our picks are 2nd and 3rd right now, Alec. After all this craziness, they're up here in contention for this win. And Zwack trying to get around Keith Mayato. Mayato was passed back up by Bailey Turner, so that is the lucky dog position right now. Bailey Turner has it, and Mayato not in position.
Sorry, I think Turner's trying to get back to Parker. Zwack's in a good spot. I think Ghaly's starting to back down the pace a little bit, but he doesn't want to give Parker any shot at getting back to him because I don't think Parker is going to play nice with him. I think Parker's going to try to do exactly what he did to Ghaly there.
And there's Adam Cabot right up the road, way off the pace.
Wow.
I don't know what is going on here. I mean, he can save his tires and all that, but he is so far down. He's going to lose a lap.
Yeah. And
I mean-
looking right now, I mean, see, Ghaly's doing his thing. I mean, Ghaly's kind of keeping that gap consistent to Parker. Parker was a little bit faster. I don't know if Parker's trying to burning up his tires or not.
He's done that on a couple of the runs tonight. He had one good run. Here comes Zwack, though.
Zwack just got by Turner.
Yeah, he's closing in. He's slowly chipping away.
15 to go when they cross the line now, but here's the problem for Ghaly. His teammates giving him some of that air. And Cruz is about 3 seconds back in fourth. I don't think Cruz is going to have anything to say about this. He'll at least secure himself a top 5 with the way he's running. Sullivan is halfway down the backstretch. He'll probably get lapped. That strategy actually might not have worked out.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I mean, he's so far off the pace here. He should have just brought it in and taken a penalty, restarted at the back. That's what I would have probably done. He would have guaranteed the top 5.
This top 5 or this top 2 are pushing the limits, the absolute limits of these cars right now. Zwack was 0.2 of a second faster than the leader.
Yeah, you can see him closing up on Dylan Parker. And Yousuf Ghaly is right there in front of him. I mean, this is it. Dylan in the wall.
Oh, I think that might have messed up his car.
I mean, he just barely brushed it, but he is definitely starting to fade here. Here comes Zwack. Big run.
Dylan needs to let, I mean, I don't think he's going to, but if he can let Zwack go by, I think they can rate. He's going to have to hope that these two get together. And this is
big bobble for Dylan Parker.
Zwack needs to make quick work of him, and then there goes Parker. Parker's going to let him by. Now it's between Zwack and Ghaly.
Oh my goodness, last week's winner and then our 2 picks are the top 3, Alec. I can't believe this is how it's shaken out here. Still time for things to go horribly wrong for anybody in the field tonight.
Yeah, caution comes out, it's really gonna be interesting.
Oh, and AJ Stravato, big slide.
Bailey Turner, big slide too.
Yeah, he's now
And
lost.
almost lost the caution.
He has lost a lot of ground here.
Yeah, and I tell you, I don't think the field wants to see a caution if Keith Mailata gets back on the lead lap. I think Yousuf Ghaly, if he keeps it up right now, I mean, he's got a big enough gap. I think he might go 2 in a row.
And Dallas Sullivan just got passed by Adam Cabot. So, yeah, like you said, I'm not sure it's going to work out. He is 20 seconds behind the leaders here, and lap time still over a second slower than Yousuf Ghaly. Zwack starting to struggle a little bit here. I saw him bobble out of turn 4.
Yeah, I think Yousuf having the clean air, I mean, he's looking pretty good right now.
It's not going to be clean for much longer, though. 3 lap cars up in front of him. Going to really start to throw things off. And it's still 7/10, though.
I think Zwack's really starting to fall off here. I think Yousuf might have saved his tires just perfect enough where he might have won it. I mean, he might have this thing in a good spot where he can win this thing.
Just had to use the bump and run.
Yeah, and I think that's going to come back to bite him.
Yeah, Jeff Wright had a big moment right there. Here comes the 54, going to try and put him a lap down, or another lap down.
I think Wright's going to let him go. Sullivan's probably going to let him go. I mean, this is Yousuf Ghaly's race unless the caution comes out. A second lead. Who would have thought that Yousuf Ghaly would go back-to-back?
Yeah, there's Dallas Sullivan right there.
We're seeing the old Yousuf Ghaly. I remember seeing the VRL champion Yousuf Ghaly, I think, is back here. Really starting to figure out these next-gen cars, and it looks like Zwack's having some trouble being behind right as he almost gets up into the wall. I mean, yeah, I think this race is pretty much over unless a caution comes out, which I mean it could because of the mid-pack battle.
Yeah, it's crazy back here. I mean, AJ Stravato in the middle of all of this. You've got Dylan Parker, the lead lap car right there. Mailata is in, well, he's no longer in the lucky dog spot. That's Dallas Sullivan in case something happens.
Yeah.
Oh, and Dallas is brushing the wall. Yeah.
He needs a caution quick. Wow.
I think they're pretty spread out until you get back here.
Yeah.
Bailey Turner, Chris Samard, Luke Knupp. Bailey, big slide right there. Here comes Luke. Yeah, Bailey's been about wrecking, I don't know, the last 10 laps or so.
I mean, yeah, the crash is coming from anywhere. It's probably coming from here. Bailey is loose, so is Knupp, and Knupp's 3 laps down, so I don't see anything. There goes Eric Hutton now underneath Knupp. Now Reggie Ortega almost got into the back of Knupp.
5 laps to go. It is Yousuf Ghaly now 1.7 seconds, and Knupp does brush the wall right there. But how about
Wow.
Dane Cruz? He's going to come home with the top 5 if
And that's
things.
gonna lock him into the chase.
Yeah, wow, what a season for the 26. Just so quiet, just minding his own business each and every week. Gets solid finishes, and he has just really muscled out a great season here. As
It is
Yousuf,
spread out.
yeah, Yousuf Ghaly coming back to 3 laps to go. The 54 machine going for 2 wins in a row. He'd be our second multi-time winner with Adam Cabot.
Habit. And Yousuf Ghaly, I don't think it's not going to affect the points much other than somebody winning. I mean, Yousuf, he's not going to make the chase. I tell you, AJ Servato and Keith Mayato are going at it right now down the backstretch, and these guys are battling for the lucky dog. Oh, and Servato's going to door Mayato.
Yeah, Keith's not gonna let him just get away. Big bobble.
Yousuf Ghaly's hoping that these guys keep it clean, and now Sullivan right ahead of them is the lucky dog.
Yeah, that's.
Baffert is in it as well. Baffert's also battling for the lucky dog as well.
Yeah,
4 cars battling for the lucky dog, but there's 2 to go.
Coming back to the white flag, 3 wide. Baffert looks down low.
Oh, he slides up the racetrack. There's contact.
They keep it straight though, and Yousuf takes the white flag. Yousuf Ghaly, the 54 Toyota Camry, through turns 1 and 2, gonna go for his 2nd win in a row in the below the Double Yellow Premier Series. Nobody would have thought it at the start of tonight's race. I did say he was pretty quick in practice though, and he is definitely showed it when it matters here. Out of turn number 4, Yousuf Ghaly from Dover is gonna win the Martin Sports 160.
Wow, what a race. This thing, Dorfer 7th or 8th, and Baffert's going to get Keith Mayato, and Dallas Sullivan got 6th.
Oh my goodness. I don't know how they didn't get past him right there.
Well, they just kind of stalled each other out.
Wow. Go back and take a look at all of that craziness, because that was probably quite the battle. Looks like Keith, yeah, might have got the wall there, and then there goes Baffert.
Right underneath here, and I mean,
Oh,
oh yeah, look at that. And Dylan Parker was coming up to Yousuf Ghaly and was not happy as he's spinning.
He does get a podium finish though after a pretty
does,
strong
yeah.
night. 30 laps led for Dylan, but Yousuf Ghaly gonna burn it down here on the front stretch at
And
Dover.
how about Dane Cruz in 4th?
Wow.
I mean, look at how about that top 5, and the streak is over of 9 consecutive different winners.
Yeah, and Yousuf Ghaly's the one to break it here. Congrats to him, and we'll be back to interview him, the rest of the top 3, and yeah, take a look at the final rundown here from Dover. And here comes Milo, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out the 37.
Oh!
Burned!
Cabot, where did he come from?
Here
comes Swack.
Swack. Up punch for the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it all.
And back at the racetrack now, going to be pulling in our third place finisher here tonight. That is Dylan Parker. Alec, I believe you're with him.
I am Dylan Parker, Alec Martinez, and Adam Baker in the VSPEED booth. You got a copy? Dylan Parker, you got a copy?
Yeah.
All right. Well, you come home in third. Seemed like you burned out the tires there a little at the end. Some contact with the 54. What happened there, and what did you need to get that win?
Oh, well, honestly, just needed maybe one more caution. Long run, I decided going into tonight, I wasn't going to worry about long run like I have all season, because it seems like every time my tires come in, they just, there's a caution. So instead of playing that normal strategy, I just played the other one, and just was good short run. And it seemed to work out, because I got third, and that's the highest spot I've got this year. Probably could have picked a better track, because this track 8 tires really bad, but, it seems like the goofy strategies like to play in the favor of these races now, so I'm just gonna start doing that.
All right. Well, next week is the season finale, and I believe your home track in Charlotte for the longest race of the season, 300 miles. How are you feeling about going out there tomorrow or next week? Sorry.
Charlotte is one of my best tracks. Really good long run there, so I might, tone down the short run speed a little bit there, but really looking forward to it, because I love that track. It's my favorite track, and it's home track, so looking forward to that. Probably just gonna go in there, do a little bit what we did tonight, but just tone it back.
All right. Well, before we let you go, anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, Alec, I would like to give a shout out to Mr. Speed, owner of VSPEED, yourself, Nick Starling, PPM, and Mr. Dugden Nice for making the paint scheme as good as it does.
Alrighty. Well, we appreciate that. Congratulations again on your third place finish. We will see you next week at the Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Alrighty.
All right. Have a good one, brother.
All right. Third place finisher, Dylan Parker. He leads 30 laps starting from 5th. And now we go to second place here tonight, and that is Matthew Zwack. Alec, I believe you're with him as well.
I am right next to the 18 car, Matthew Zwack, Alec Martinez, Adam Baker in the VC booth. Got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, you come home in second. It seemed like you had some mid-run pace. What did you need to catch the 54, and what did you maybe need to do to overall just win the race?
I needed more talent. No, I am not good at Dover. Dover has never been a good track. I thought I did think I was gonna win the race for about 4 or 5 laps, and then I nearly ate the wall off turn 4 with about like 9 to go, and yeah, the rears were gone at that point. I put too much fuel in it under the caution. I think if I had a tighter car, I could have closed the gap more. Maybe got him to make a mistake or two. But yeah, the initial strategy to wait and let him battle was good. Just I executed a bit worse after that part.
Yeah, well, obviously you were below the cut line. If I do the math right, you were about 23 points behind the cut line going into Dover. Next week, the regular season finale. If I do my math correctly, you will be either right on the 13th position, a few points back, or if not, the last car on the bubble. How are you feeling about going out to Charlotte and maybe having to defend to be in that 12th chase spot?
Well, I'm actually pretty confident going into there. Mile and a halves have definitely been my strong suit this year. I was in that top 3 at Vegas until that caution came out. I'm really comfortable with this car at mile and a halves, unlike the short tracks. So I just think if I run a pretty smooth race and we don't have shenanigans like we did here, I'll have a pretty decent shot at it.
All right. Well, again, congratulations on your second place finish. Before we let you go, anybody you want to give a shout out to?
I'll give a shout out to you guys for putting it on. Always a good broadcast to go back and watch. Admins for doing it, and I have a blast running this.
Heck yeah, well, we appreciate that, brother. Congratulations again on second place finish, and we will see you next week out in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Appreciate it. See ya.
I see it.
All right, second place finisher Matthew Zwack after starting 4th. He comes home runner-up. Let's go now to the race winner here tonight. That is going to be Yousuf Ghaly, the number 54 machine. Yousuf, this is Adam and Alec in the VSPEED booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Hey man, it was all about the long run, and then you put yourself in position there after the caution in the middle of the pit cycle, and a little hard battling there with Dylan Parker. You take the lead away and go on to lead the last 25 laps of this race. Just describe tonight, from your perspective, and getting your second win in a row.
Yeah, I feel like I made a few mistakes tonight. I got a really good pit entry under that green flag stop, so I was happy about that because I think towards the end of the race, if it had gone green, it would have been a battle between like me and Keith and Adam, because they were better than me long run, but I had that pit entry that helped me. But then at the end there, with the yellow and Dylan being the only other car on fresh tires, I believe, I knew that I had to pass him because they were going to start to get crazy behind me. And he was really good short run. I think he was the best short run car. So I just needed to get around him as fast as possible and just see how it went.
Yeah, and it definitely, it was going to come down to you two and maybe Matthew Zwack if he could get up there in the mix. But ultimately, you go on, hold them all off for your second win in a row. You're not going to be in the chase, but 2 wins, obviously last week gave you some momentum. You're just keeping up with that. You think you can carry that into Charlotte next week in our longest race of the season?
Charlotte's hit or miss track for me. I've never really been that great there, but with these new next-gen cars, you never know. So we'll see how it goes. I'm excited. I'm excited for the chase, even though I'm not in it.
Yeah, and that will be the regular season finale. We'll look to see if you can go 3 in a row. But you join Adam Cabot as the only multi-time winners this season. So congrats on that and in taking your second win in a row. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Just the admins and you guys just for putting on a great show and keeping the rules all set week by week.
Awesome, Yousuf. Well, congrats again on the race win, and we'll catch you at Charlotte.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Congrats.
That is Yousuf Ghaly, race winner 2 in a row for the number 54 machine. In kind of unexpected fashion, but he did put himself in the right spot with the short pit, and he got himself on the lead lap, was able to take tires, and able to take the win here tonight. So congrats to him and our other podium finishers. Let's look at the rest of the results here tonight from Dover Motor Speedway. In the Martin Sports 160, Yousuf Ghaly takes the win after 3 cautions and 12 lead changes. He holds off Matthew Zwack, who comes home in the 2nd position. Dylan Parker will finish in 3rd. Dane Cruz up 16 spots from 20th will finish in 4th. Probably a hidden message in there that he might like. But the 4th position for him, Adam Cabot comes home in the 5th spot. Good run from him. Almost went a lap down there. Able to hold on to it. Dallas Sullivan, 6th place. Good finish for him. AJ Serrato, 7th. Ben Baffert, 8th. Keith Mayato in 9th. And Seth Hatchell rounds out the top 10.
Oh, hold on. I didn't have my results. I was looking at points. I apologize. Brody Hayes in 11th. Chris Samar in 12th. Bailey Turner in 13th. Eric Hutton 14th. In 15th, Reggie Ortega. 16th, Jeff Wright. 17th, Luke Canup. 18th, Angelo Rodas. 19th, Ryan Gimmel. And running at the top 20, Michael P. Frisch.
In the 21st position, it was Eddie Trejo. 22nd, Jordan Brackel. 23rd, Nick Gardner. And Gary Sexton going to round out the field here. I don't believe he started the race tonight. So he will finish in 24th here. But points look like they are updated, aren't they?
Are. And just so we break the news to you, if I do my math correctly, the top 5 and the points are locked in to the chase for the BTDY Cup. Going to depend next week at Charlotte. Seth Hatchell has a 14-point lead over Brody Hayes for the regular season championship. Those two will probably be the two fighting it out. Brody Hayes is going to need a lot of points to catch up to Seth Hatchell, and he would actually be the tiebreaker if they were to tie, I think, because he has a win. So that'll be interesting. I don't know if it's average finish or average win, or whoever has more of the win. Had to clear that up with admins for next week. But Seth Hatchell, Brody Hayes, Keith Mayato, Joshua Banks, and Adam Cabot are officially locked in. These will be the top, or at least the top 5 as of now, locked into next week's, or into this season's chase for the BTDY Cup. Bailey Turner just needs I believe, a finish of about 20th or better, and he'll be fine. So honestly, I would have to say that the top 10 are pretty much locked in. Baffert can't afford to wreck, but Stravato, Parker, Cruz, and Turner, I believe, just need to start the race next week to make their way into the chase for the BTDY Cup. Ben Baffert has a decent cushion, needs about a top 15 to probably secure himself in. Jeff Wright is only 4 points above the cutoff in 11th. Angelo Ronis is the bubble car. He is 9 points ahead of Matthew Zwack, tied with Dallas Sullivan after getting an amazing 6th place finish tonight. He and Matthew Zwack are 9 points behind Angelo Ronis to be the final car in the chase for the BTDY Cup. Jeff Wright's going to need to clean up the finishes, I would have to say, clean up the mistakes to really have a shot, or to at least stay in the top 12. Obviously, we've seen the tires that he's fallen off on tires, and he's been in a few incidents this year, but just needs to clean it up, and I think he'll have a shot. I think the real battle is going to be between Angelo Ronis, Matthew Zwack, Dallas Sullivan is possible. Reggie Ortega and Chris Samard are, I believe, looking at points, are about 18 behind, so that's gonna also be 15 and 16 points behind. So Angelo Ronis and Jeff Wright have to be on it next week. I think their biggest worry is obviously Matthew Zwack, and they cannot afford to have an incident or have any kinds of trouble next week. And it's a 300-mile race next week, so I believe that's, what is that, 200 laps? So it's gonna be a long one in Charlotte.
Yeah, I think it's 225 is the
Oh.
Yeah, it's a mile and a half, 225. I think the math works out there somehow, but 300 miles. It'll be quite a marathon. That's what we're calling it, the BTDY Marathon 225. So looking forward to that one. See how we wrap up this regular season, but it'll be a fight for the championship and around the cut line. And Yousuf Ghaly, he's just out there going for wins. So look for him to try and make it 3 in a row after winning his second race. Yeah, what another incredible event here tonight from these guys. They never cease to amaze at what kind of show they can put on for us. But
it is amazing. We love it.
We do. And we want to thank everybody who watched here tonight. Thank you for tuning in, cheering on your favorite drivers. And we'll be back Thursday night with the BMW Car Club of America National Capital Chapter Sim Racing League live from Watkins Glen Thursday night. So that should be a really fun one.
That will be.
High speed in the GTE machines. So looking forward to that. And then next Tuesday, actually, a little bit of an announcement here. Next Monday, we're going to be bringing the Contenders Series to you here on VSPEED.
Oh!
So we do want to give a big shout out to Bradley over at Drivers Network America. He's coming on board here to do the broadcasts on Monday nights with the Below the Double Yellow Contenders Series, and those guys following the same schedule as the Cup and the Premier Series here.
Yeah.
It'll be on Monday nights with some other drivers, some other names you may not recognize or may not have seen, or you may recognize.
Yeah,
there are.
Next week, obviously for the Contender Series, obviously names some people might have heard: Anthony Pelican, Alex Pelican, Nick Gardner, as well. Been about the dominant three. Daniel Cunningham, Eric Lambert, Dennis Faircloth, Jeremiah Vincent. They've always been up there. Awesome to have Drivers Network America and VSPEED pair up for next week and watching the Contender Series, and they're in the Xfinity cars. So always a fun time, and go out, support them on Monday. Should be a good race for the Charlotte Motor Speedway as well. So looking forward to watching that race here on VSPEED, and then coming back on Tuesday and watching these Cup boys go at it.
Yeah, it'll be a fun couple of days there as we that Contender Series does not do a chase format, so that is full season points.
Yeah.
So those guys just trying to be consistent and get as many points as they can each and every week. Whereas this group here, this is their last chance if they're outside that top 12 to make it in. So a lot on the line on Tuesday night, and we look forward to seeing you all back here then. But thanks for tuning in. Thanks to the sponsors as well. We'll catch you all next time.